another episode of Coder Conversations. It's Kev.
And I'm TC. How's it going, man?
Oh man, not too bad. How you been?
I've been good. Just trying to stay on the grind, uh, but have it make sense. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
not
yeah,
like I've been trying to fight burnout, um, and it's been going good. It's been going good. Uh, I'm not gonna lie. I've been slacking on the videos lately. I need to get back on that. Make my update videos. But besides that, yeah, everything's good over here.
yeah. I mean, same here. Like, it's real easy to get burned out, man, when you're doing the same thing over and over. So, you know how I've recently been getting into video editing and everything.
Yeah,
I've been doing that for about 10 days straight. So, putting out like a video every day and a graphic every day. But
uh,
yeah,
you
I'm gonna
tired?
take a break. Yeah, started wearing me out, man. So.
Yeah. Uh, but no, your graphics are doing good. Like the video editing is doing good. Are you going through like a course for that or?
Yeah, I bought a whole bunch of courses when they had that Udemy sale on Black Friday. I'm kind of bouncing between like Adobe After Effects and
Mhm.
like YouTube marketing and all of that. Like kind of like learning how to create our brand. I think that's the
Yeah.
big thing. Yeah, it's hard to break through on YouTube, man. It's difficult. Like,
Hmm.
but in a way, I think it's good because it's going to force us to put a whole bunch of content out there before we blow up.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like that's the key, right? It's like you don't get to where you are uh by like hiding away and like working on this grand project, right? And then boom, like releasing it to the world
Yeah,
and it's like great. It's like there's a bunch of like smaller, crappier ideas, right? That lead up to that bigger
yeah.
release. So yeah, like by you like posting just like graphics that you just throw together or make or and you just
Yeah.
trying new things, it helps.
Yeah, because
It's really good.
like once you blow up, you pretty much gotta keep that formula that was established. So I think like we gotta find our formula, have that perfected, and then once we're
Mhm.
discovered, we just keep with that formula. Kind of like how Kevin Samuels once he blew up, he's had like tons of videos already. He pretty much had his setup already done. It was just
Right.
viral video caught on, and then he
Hmm.
just had to keep doing what he was already doing.
Yeah, exactly. Until the world kind of uh, gets tired of it, I guess you could say.
Right.
Because like eventually, like how many times can you say the same thing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like how many times can you spin the same ideas? Like what is it? I was talking to this one of my coworkers. She's a real big fan of Drake, and like she's like, Drake just has that same sound. Like even though it doesn't feel like he's got anything else to sort of say or to he doesn't have any type of flow that he can separate himself from. Like every album sounds the same, most songs sound the same, and eventually like your viral fans are gonna either get tired of it or uh, they'll stay with it, but it's not gonna you're gonna decline, right?
Yeah, yeah,
It's like the movie, like let's say you have four movies in a row, right? After the third movie, right, you hit that apex. Eventually, you're gonna come down, right? You're gonna come
yeah,
crashing down. So, like,
yeah.
um,
After a while, once you're established, then you gotta do something different after a while. But you know, yeah, I don't think we've reached that point yet.
no, definitely not. Speaking of which, like, speaking of like doing the same things and like not liking change and all that stuff. I don't know if you play Halo, right? But like, I've been watching a lot of I've been playing some Halo, and I've been going on their subreddit and seeing that like a lot of people are complaining about how the new version of Halo is more monetized, right? So like because this game Halo Infinite is free to play, right? The multiplayer anyway, like they have to monetize it somehow, and so like a lot of the armor, a lot of the stuff that you would get, the cosmetics and stuff that were like uh, on the disc in like the earlier versions of the games, like Halo 3 and 4, right? like they're all locked now behind like paywalls and
Yeah,
events. So like there's been a lot of backlash when it comes to those like hardcore fans that are like, hey, why isn't this in the game? Why isn't that in the game?
yeah,
You know, um, like how do you feel about, like, let's say if you were using a product, like I think you had mentioned to me like solitaire, right? Is like
yeah,
there's ads now, right, in solitaire,
yeah.
and it's
Like,
like how do you respond to those type of changes? Like, how do you feel about that? Like,
I mean, I don't like it at all. Like but they're trying. That's the trend of business now. They want everything on a subscription model. So I guess
right?
so they have that steady revenue coming in. Like you can't, like you say, you can't even play solitaire without either buying a subscription or suffering through ads.
Yeah.
It's not like a little banner ad. It's like a literally like a commercial that you have to watch.
Hmm.
And if you
Yeah.
try to click away the window, it'll pause the commercial. So
Yeah.
they literally make you watch the commercial.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know what's crazy is speaking of that, like Microsoft Office, Microsoft Word, that I've heard like Microsoft, they want to force you more so into buying the annual subscription as opposed to
Oh
paying
wow,
monthly.
that's
Like
crazy.
I think they're gonna raise the price of the monthly like 20%, to kind of like steer you to getting the annual subscription.
Yeah. Well, I still use Microsoft 2007, so I've never upgraded.
Right.
I don't. I
Yeah.
don't plan on upgrading anytime soon.
Yeah.
If I need to use like Office, I'll use like Google Docs or
Yeah.
Google Sheets. Like it, like that. That solves my Word and Excel issue. So yeah.
Yeah. What is the other one? Open Office.
No, yeah, there's Open Office, but it wasn't. I mean, when I used it, like I'm 30, 32 now. It's like 14 years ago when I used it,
It wasn't
something
too
like that.
good.
It wasn't. It wasn't too good. No, it wasn't too good.
Yeah.
It was really different than what I'm used to. Um, yeah.
Maybe
Um,
they made some progress in 14 years.
maybe, maybe. Like I'm not against like larger corporations like trying to make money, but it's like after certain points, like how much money do you really need? How much is necessary for you to sustain yourself, right? It's like
Right.
there's that point of when you make enough, and then everything else is just excess.
Now
I
it's
feel
kind of
like
like we're getting to the point where you don't own anything. You just perpetually leasing or borrowing everything.
yeah,
Like even with Adobe Suite, you can't buy Photoshop anymore. You
yeah.
have to go under buy the little subscription. Like a lot of the plugins, you can't buy them. You have to get a subscription.
Well,
It's
you
like,
lease the plugins too.
yeah, a lot of them are on that.
Wow,
Like the real good stuff, you got to kind of like pay a yearly fee or whatever. So
wow, that's crazy.
yeah, man, it's kind of messed up, man. But that's the way it's going.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
man,
That's
what do you think?
hmm? Kevin, you there?
Hello,
Okay, all right.
you got
No, it's
disconnected.
all good. What were you saying though?
But yeah, like a higher up in Sony and also like a higher up in Nvidia, they both like fairly recently got caught trying to sleep with like a 15-year-old kid.
Yeah, yeah. I heard about that, and it's like there's a lot of I don't want to say sick people out there, but it's like they I don't know.
It's like the tech
I
industry is
don't think
getting
people think
exposed.
about that kind of stuff. Like
Ain't it kind of crazy though? Like the tech industry, like Activision, their situation was a little different, but
Yeah,
it's kind of like a lot of crazy stuff going on over there.
it's like
And
it's like a lot of people are uh, a lot of higher ups, and maybe even like lower coworkers and stuff too, like that. Right? They they get caught up in, I don't know. Some people just don't think. And if they do think, I don't think they're thinking with the right head. It's like, come on, man. You have to think about like, you never met this person before. First of all, you have to, when it comes to being online and anonymity. I can't say that word. On being online
anonymity.
and exactly, yeah. So being online and being anonymous, it's like I've never met this person before, and like, is this person even going to be like who they say they are? And then like I'm not defending him for trying to get with a 15-year-old. I'm thinking of it as in like an adult to adult type of relationship. But it's like when you take that and you're like, oh, I'm 50 something years old. I'm talking to a 15-year-old. What could we possibly have in common? It doesn't add up. Doesn't add up.
Yeah, I think with those things, those kind of relationships, those guys just have like a certain fetish, like a sick fetish, like they want, to corrupt this innocent kid type of thing. Uh, it's like, before the internet, though, I know a lot of this was going on, but a lot of people didn't believe it because it wasn't
Yeah,
recorded. But
yeah.
now that we
It
have
wasn't
all this
recorded.
surveillance, it makes it real. Like when a lot, like when the maybe you have like uh family members who say, "Oh, such and such,"
Yeah.
tried to
Try to
molest
whisper
me.
to it.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
lot of times the family wrote it off like, "Nah, I don't think you're lying." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
He would
now that
never
they
do
want
that.
right, exactly. So who would believe like these higher ups in these companies would be trying to do this kind of stuff? But now it's literally on camera.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's the crazy thing too. It's like everything is on camera nowadays. Right? You can't
yeah,
do anything without it being on camera. Like, or I would say you can't do anything without being on camera. But if you go out into the world and like, and you're acting crazy or you're causing a scene, expect it to possibly get put online. Like I would probably say
yeah.
that.
And
Yeah.
even things like you say on Twitter or whatever, like 20 years later,
Mm-hmm.
they'll pop that tweet back up and try to tank your career or something. It's happened a lot. Look at John Gruden with the Raiders. So it's like,
What happened with him?
no, he got fired
Mm.
because they brought up some old emails and publicized that, make that public, and they ended up letting him go. So you know, it's good that those guys got exposed.
Mm-hmm.
But like sometimes people, on the other hand, like they just have like conversations with their boys or whatever that they wouldn't have, in the public. But that stuff still could get leaked, and oh, okay,
Yeah.
your career gets tanked.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It follows you even if you delete it. The internet is always there. It's
Yeah,
it's it follows you. And yeah, man, I've seen cases where like teachers that have like OnlyFans
yeah.
and like they get fired, and it's like how far or how far should somebody be allowed to police you, right? Like if I'm a good developer, but I have an OnlyFans on the side, I I do recreational drugs on the side, and I'm a activist for whatever, right? Does is my job allowed to fire me for my own personal beliefs and what I do on my free time?
I would say to an extent, yeah, because you in a way you represent their brand, and they don't want their brand to feel like say for example, okay, uh, I was a Nazi, I was a Nazi or something. I was in these groups posting like Nazi rhetoric, but I worked with
Right.
AT&T, and I was a higher up, like say I was in these AT&T commercials or something,
Mm-hmm.
and okay, all these posts start. coming up about me being a Nazi. You know, they're gonna can me, and you know, rightfully so because I'm tanking their brand. But yeah, in a way, you know, you don't want these companies to just be able to delve all like super deep into your life and you know fire you for things you're doing on your free time. Like, okay, say for example, you know, weed is legal in California.
Right.
If that's what you do outside of work, then like
Right.
I don't think they should be able to fire you since it's legal over there.
Right. Exactly. And
But
but and also what I do, what I feel like there's definitely like, okay, let's say the weed thing, that makes sense. The but something like, as far as like where I invest my money, or like what I do if I stream on Twitch, or if I've got a YouTube channel, I feel like that is, if there's a gray line, and I just feel like companies shouldn't have that type of ability. Like if I'm good at what I do, then what difference does it make if these are my political beliefs, or these are my religious beliefs, or whatever?
yeah, I don't believe you should be able to be fired. Like, okay, you're working at like a primarily liberal tech company and you're not a liberal. They're like, okay, you're fired. Your values don't align with ours, or you know, vice versa. You know,
Right.
you're liberal and you're some conservative company. They just can you because you're liberal. You know, like that should be illegal.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know, like if you're doing illegal stuff, yeah, they should be able to can you. Like you know, you breaking into people's houses, or you know, like
Yeah.
in the case of those two guys, they
Yeah.
mess with
Yeah.
underage. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
And I feel like, yeah, when they hold positions of power, right? Those weren't just like lower level people, and I'm sure lower level people would get canned just as quickly.
Yeah,
But because
right.
they're front facing, I think they were executives, or they were really high up. They had
Yeah, I think
um,
one of them was like a you know like a vice president of one of the big divisions of Sony, and kind of like the
senior
same thing
account
with them
manager.
here. Yeah, something big.
Yeah, senior account manager. It's yeah. You can't, nah, you can't go around doing that kind of stuff, and
Right.
and don't expect it to follow you.
Exactly. Yeah. So you
Yeah.
know, in these two instances, the firing was deserved. But like, if you just have different political beliefs, you know, I don't believe you know a company should be able to can you for that. Like,
Yeah.
you know, they hired you to work. They didn't hire you to you know be a political soldier. So, but you know, what's kind of crazy to me is you know, a lot of these tech companies they pretty much own all the avenues of communication. And it seems like if you don't, your beliefs don't align with what they deem acceptable, they could just ban you off the platform. Like, what do you think about that?
Oh man. Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, everything is it's not necessarily in your control, right? It's like if I went to Twitter, right, and I had a Twitter account, and my Twitter
Yeah,
account didn't align with Twitter's brand, I can't. They don't. Clearly, they wouldn't want me to be a part of their company because of what I say on Twitter, and and to be banned, or to be let go plus banned off their platform, it's like, wow, like,
like does free
I,
speech really exist?
yeah, that's the direction that I'm going. It's like, do we have free speech? Like,
Honestly,
yeah,
no.
there's workplace politics, right? There's just certain things you don't say, right? Because or certain topics you don't talk about, and then like, but you, man, can you even? Is there such thing as freedom of speech anymore?
Not really. You know the excuse they like to say is, well, you know, it's their private platform, so they can regulate, you know, regulate you how they want to. But if they own all the platforms, they pretty much control acceptable speech. You know what I mean? Like just say, for example, Donald Trump, he owns all the ways that we can communicate online. if you have any opinion against his, he just banned you. And you say, well, where's my free speech? But he said, well, it's a private platform, so
Right.
I can tell you. You know what I mean?
You can regulate what you can and can't say on the private platform.
So like these tech companies, they got a monopoly on free speech. So
Yeah.
there's not really free speech.
Man, that just makes me think. Like, what if you get banned from the metaverse?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, okay, is it the account that gets banned? Is it the Oculus Rift that gets banned? Like, what gets banned? Right?
Yeah, like,
Because
don't they want to make it like, give everybody a digital ID to like,
I don't
okay,
know.
I'm thinking that's where they leaning towards. Like, you have one entity that is able to connect to this metaverse, and if you get banned, like you just can't get back on. That's why I think they eventually want.
Dang, that's it's almost like an indefinite ban from like Xbox or like a ban from like
Yep.
Twitter, like but like not just a ban, but like almost like an IP ban. Like
Yeah, yeah,
you as
man.
a person can't come back to this website.
Right, exactly. Like imagine that. Like that would be terrible. But it just goes to show you like how much power we're giving all of these companies. We love to use their products, but our identity is pretty much tied into the online world now. And if they control everything, it's like they control you pretty much. Like, well, what are we gonna do? Like, if everybody's in the metaverse, but you're not.
I just won't be. I,
Yeah,
I I don't think that's something I'm gonna pick up. And
right.
I'm just not gonna be a part of that wave. Maybe the next generation, right? My kids, maybe, but no, not me.
Yeah, to me, it kind of seems like the movies were telling us what's coming. Like the Matrix is like the metaverse to the
Mm-hmm.
extreme, like
Yep.
like a dystopian path of the metaverse. Like everybody's just hooked into the internet so much. To them, that's the real world, and
Mm-hmm.
they just gotta get whatever they need in this world to hook back into that world.
Yeah. Dang, there was a movie that I wanted to talk about. Not the Matrix. It was. Oh, I just had it. It'll come back to me. It'll come back to me.
What was it about?
Dang. I lost it. Hold on. Let me see if I can jog my memory.
But yeah, in the
Dang.
meantime, something interesting I've heard is Elon Musk wants to start implanting those Neuralink like brain chips into people starting next year.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, I just
What
seen a
what what
story
does it
about
do?
it. I guess is maybe hooked you. Let me look that up real quick. I've heard about he wants to start hooking people up into it, but I don't know like the exact ramifications of it. So let me see. Says the first human trial of Neuralink is more likely to take place in 2022. They've already established it in pigs and monkeys, so the first human to run Neuralink will probably be doing so before the close of 2022. Let's see what this is
Mm.
exactly. Elon Musk posted the results on Twitter. A monkey playing a computer game Pong using only the power of his brain. Now, a monkey playing computer games is impressive, but a monkey playing a computer game with his mind is clearly insane. So I guess it like you're plugged into the network and you can use your brain. Maybe it senses your brain pulses to be able to do stuff.
Mm.
Let's see. However, Neuralink isn't just about playing games with your mind, so don't think of it that way. Neuralink has the ability to restore vision, help wheelchair-bound people walk again, and wirelessly beam your thoughts to the other person's mind.
Mm.
Yeah, well, what do you think about that?
That's crazy. I wouldn't trust it.
No, no, no.
And it's too invasive.
Yeah,
it's part of me. I can't turn it off, or at least from what I understand, I can't turn it off. It's like
right.
it's too that's too much.
Yeah, if you can beam your thoughts to another person's mind, that means they can probably record your thoughts and figure out what you're thinking.
Yep, yep.
Like, like imagine a world where not even your thoughts are private.
I think Futurama had a joke about that where they're like, "Oh, it's the internet." No, no. I think Fry was sleeping and he got an ad in his dreams,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and
Like,
and he was like, "Oh, let me see, Fry Futurama."
I've heard that marketers actually they want to do that, be able to do that, like be able to put ads in your dreams. And I've even heard of talk about like like placing that, like projecting the advertisement on the moon.
That's too far. How would that benefit us? I don't understand. It's first of all, it's too far away. Second of all, it's like think of how much light you would have to produce, right? To shoot from the Earth all the way to the moon,
Yeah,
and then for it to be able to be visible from anywhere in the world.
you're right,
Like you would have just this pillar of light shooting across the sky.
man. It's crazy.
You think? Oh, that's what. There it is. That's what I was gonna say. Did you hear about that guy from Better.com who
Yeah,
fired
yeah.
like I forget.
900 people
Yeah, yeah.
right before Christmas.
Right before Christmas, and then it's like also they just got um they got a cash infusion. I forget how much money that they were making or how much money they earned, but it's like how do you make how do you get money for your company and then fire people? Like
To them, it's like bottom line, all about the profits. Like if you think about what most companies call you, they say, "Oh, human resources," like you're a resource. So if it looks better on the balance sheet to let these people go, like you're gone, you're canned. Like it's kind of like just the reality of the corporate world. If you're deemed an underperformer, you're gone. So it's I guess just knowing how the system works is understandable, but how we went about it, like he didn't give them a warning, like, hey, guys, we're going to start cutting our workforce down.
yeah,
So I'm giving y'all two weeks to a month to start looking for a new job. You know what I mean?
yeah, he just kind of cut him down.
Exactly. Like, hey guys, get on this Zoom meeting. Oh yeah, surprise, you're all fired. Like that, and right before Christmas,
That's messed up. I got,
yeah, he said like a lot of the employees were only doing like 2 hours of work, but he said 250, but he fired 900. So with the other, what is it, 650? What were they doing?
right. It's like that makes me hesitant about this like remote work life, right? It's like how do you is anything guaranteed? Meaning like
Nope.
if I'm working with this company, right, and I change positions, or I get a raise, or I get promoted, like how long is this company going to be around? Like for me to be like, oh, I'm senior developer at Apple, and then tomorrow Apple goes bankrupt,
Right.
right? Like
But that's kind of like why I've been working so hard on, building the brand. Like, I've been telling you, hey man, put these videos out. Like,
yeah,
the main reason for that, like you remember, I just had that post on LinkedIn. I was talking about like working at McDonald's,
mm-hmm.
and that was kind of like my first like real like viral post. I've actually been getting like people, like several people hitting me up, like, oh hey, I like that post. Would you like to work at, would you like to maybe interview at this company, that kind of thing. So
Okay.
just, what I'm saying, like just the visibility is giving me opportunities. So it's like, we know what's coming. It's like it's up to us to adapt. Like, how do we distinguish ourselves from the masses of faceless developers out there?
Hmm.
Like, I think that's the big issue with these companies. Like, there's so many new developers coming in. It's like, how do we get the talented ones? And you know,
Right.
one of the big things is like you got to have a face. Like, they got to be able to see your brand and be like, oh, okay, this guy, I watch him on YouTube all the time, and
Yeah.
he shows he knows what he's doing. So
Yeah.
yeah, you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
That's a good point. That's a good point. And then I also want to mention, like, sometimes people hit me up on LinkedIn, and then they're just like super direct, like, "Hi, thanks for adding me. I think we have a good. I think I have a good. You have good skill sets." Like, they just jump straight into like work, jobs,
Right.
freelancing opportunities, like not so much talking about like a post that I made, what they found interesting about it, like to have
Right.
like a normal conversation. It's just cold, like
This is what it is.
business, like uninterested. It's like you're so serious, and like
Right.
there's no connection that can be made from that type of it's like of like I know a name, and I know that you have this business opportunity, like, and then that's it. And I
Right.
get it, like some people are like super serious, super by the books, but I feel like actually having a connection or like talking about something other than uh hi, my
Business
name
and
is this so and so, I'm a developer, this is what I do, XYZ ABC, like having a personality goes way farther uh than just, yes, my name is Terrence, I'm a software engineer, I know data structures, algorithms, I can do this and do that and do this and do that. It's like, dude, like, okay, that's great, but who are you? Who are
right.
you? And like,
So you kind of preferred him to, like establish a bit of a relationship first
yeah,
before.
yeah, I
Okay.
prefer people who establish some type of relationship, because like
Right.
there's only so much that you can talk about when it comes to work, and
Mhm.
then eventually, outside of that, it's got to be some other reason why I want to talk to you, right?
Right.
Do we have the same music interests? Do we have the same? Like, did you see something cool? Right? Did you have a question about something? Like, what is it that you want? Like,
Right.
and and it's got to feel genuine. I don't know how to explain that, but it's like it's got to feel like you aren't just trying to get something out of me,
Right.
right? It's got to feel like, hey, I learned this today. Like, I think you might be interested in this, uh, and that'll make you more memorable to me, instead of, hi, I have this business opportunity. Are you interested? Yes or no?
Right. I don't know. I think I kind of like, well, if this is just some random business opportunity, don't even bring that up to me. But if it's like recruited, I kind of prefer them to just get to the point. Like,
Right,
don't ask me about how what I like, this and that. Like, I know you wanna, you got a potential job opportunity,
right,
get to it. But like with business or something, like you gotta establish some kind of rapport. Like, hey, you want to join my business? Like, it sounds like
right.
in that case, it kind of sounds like like Primerica or something, like one of those multi-level markets.
Right, right, right,
Like, hey, yeah, I got a real cool business opportunity. You seem special. Like, why don't you come to my meeting tomorrow?
right. Yeah, yeah. Essentially, that's what it feels like. It feels like that, and it's like, nah, I'm good. You're rubbing me the
Right.
wrong way.
How you don't know anything about me, so like why are you bringing me this opportunity?
Yeah. Like, what is it that you really want? Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
exactly. Yeah, man. Yeah, having a presence, and like being genuine, and being active on social media. I think it can go one of two ways, right? Like, it can
Yeah,
definitely, you're leaving a bread. crumb show, right? But like
Yeah,
it's all about like what type of bread trail are you leaving,
yeah,
right? There's times when I went on GitHub and I've seen people like, oh, so and so's following you and so's following you. I'm like, oh wow, I have actual people that are like following my GitHub account. That's cool.
right.
Um, like I can't post anything on there besides like my merge requests and stuff. But like at least as far as I know. But that just gives me like hope or like an idea. Like okay, like if I just continue like updating my profile with like good news or bad news or just continually updating and being active, I think that goes a long way. And being active to a, how do I say it, like be positively active and less negatively active. Like if I'm online just like talking negative about people and like
Yeah,
just being like like depressing, I think that's the worst thing. No one wants to interact with that type of energy, right?
right. Yeah, yeah. You don't want to be like negative.
Right,
Like you know, you got to maintain your professionalism. Like you got to be careful what you say because
right.
it can dig up whatever and bring it right back on you. So it's almost like nowadays with all this the surveillance, you always got to have on your professional face. That's the thing. Like you can't just like joke with your boys because okay somebody leaked this conversation and you know what I mean.
Yeah, but I mean, y- you can joke with your boys, but it's got to be like you
Well,
and your boys. It's got to
yeah,
it's got to have no third party. I would see it like that. It's got to be like as if back in the day it was just you, your boys. You guys are just hanging out at the house, playing dominoes and watching the game, and or like it's almost like what did they say like talk at the barbershop, right? You go to the barbershop, whatever you hear
yeah,
at the barbershop, like how whatever type of conversations you guys have, it's within those four walls. It's not like you talk that same way out in public or whatever, right? So I feel like there's definitely like a place and a time for things like that, and that just comes with life, right? You learn that you should learn that type of stuff. Uh,
which like these days, like say for example, you get famous and you have a falling out with one of your boys, and this guy's some guy that records like every phone conversation y'all ever had. You're like, okay, TMZ, I got such and such for $1 million. Like, man,
yeah, that's
but
man.
I see a lot of that on like not necessarily in the tech world, but like the entertainment world. I don't know if like the rappers, like not rappers, but like Whack 100, the games manager.
Hmm.
Like, oh, he's beefing with this guy, such and such leaked this conversation. Like
Hmm.
these people are all recording each other in that arena, like in that entertainment arena. It's like everybody's recording each other's conversations. I guess one to protect themselves, and two, as a potential weapon in the future. You know what I mean?
It's it sucks that it's come to this
Yeah, exactly. It's
where
like,
like people see it necessary to do that, to have a what's what I'm looking for? It's like to have dirt on somebody, right? Like what's the benefit? I get it. Like you can cancel them, you can ruin their lives or whatever, but
yeah,
how does that help you? So you're
right.
mad at somebody, so you want to ruin their life?
Yeah, I mean, so I think it's just like certain arenas is like the piranha pool. Like, do you really, even though there's a lot of money over there, do you want to jump in that pool? Because there's a lot of those kind of people over there.
Yeah.
Like me personally, I don't think I will really want that. Like to always have to watch my back, carefully watch everything I say because
Yeah.
such and such can twist it and run this. You know what I mean? Run this narrative.
Yeah. I was watching an interview the other day with I forget his name. He was a rapper, and this guy, the interviewer kept like trying to goad him
Yeah,
into
yeah,
into answering some type of question, and he's like, "Man, y'all play around and y'all just use people like me for
Yeah,
entertainment. Y'all laugh at me. Y'all, I'm paraphrasing, right? But like
yeah,
he was like, y'all just use me for entertainment. It's like you want to ask me something and laugh at me, and
yeah,
and 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 he's like, and clearly when I'm trying to go and talk about something else, you just keep going back to the same subject.
yeah, yeah.
And he's like, if you're not gonna respect me, then I'm gonna just leave.
Right.
He's
You
like,
got you got to do that, man, or else they're gonna keep on like redirecting you into something that's gonna get you into beef or
yeah,
locked up.
yeah. And he was like, well, it's my show, and I can ask what I want, and blah blah blah.
Yeah,
He's like, if you gonna leave, then leave. And he's like, all right, say less. And he left.
man,
And it's
that's
like,
good.
you have to. I think as a as a person, as an entertainer specifically, or as a person with an online presence, more related. That's probably more relatable for people that are listening, and for me and you. It's like you have to pick your battles,
Yeah,
right, and be conscious of like the battles that you pick, because if you act in a way where it's like I'm frustrated and I'm angry, I'm gonna tweet about this or I'm gonna post
yeah,
about this online, like there's no way for you to undo that post. And even as soon as you put it out there and it's visible by somebody else,
yeah.
it's not
That's
like
out there.
you could like hit delete and then the tweet gets deleted on somebody else's screen. It's out
Yeah,
there. They can screenshot it. And once they screenshot that and it spreads around, it's game over. So like,
you know what most of you guys say. Oh, I got hacked. Somebody hacked my account.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, nah,
I
you didn't get
got.
hacked.
You know what's crazy though? Like on a similar note, like you just sometimes you just got to learn to walk away like that guy did because you know if their only agenda is to set you up into
Yeah,
getting you into a negative situation, and you know sometimes what if you work for a company where your boss is doing something illegal, and he say, "Hey Terrence, I want you to, you know, do such and such. Like I want you to shred these documents."
yeah,
You know, and it's important documents that you know, if they get shred, like maybe you can get caught up in some kind of investigation. Like
yeah.
even in our job, you know, we got to learn to walk away if it's
If
not
it's not for
legal, if it's
you,
not ethical.
yeah. If it's not for you, you gotta learn how to respect your time, especially
Yeah,
as a developer. It's like, is this worth my time? Like all these interviews and stuff that people
yeah,
put others through. It's like 8 rounds of interviews. No, I'm good.
yeah,
because
exactly.
because you value your time, right, after a certain point. And like, if they can't make a decision after the fourth interview or whatever, you have to have enough self-respect to say, you know what, I'm gonna
Yeah,
pass. And then uh I recently did like a Hulu interview, and I don't think I talked about this on the podcast, but man, like I was burnt out and I
yeah,
just did a really terrible job. And like, even when I had that interview set up for a Friday. I did. I pushed it back to Monday. I said, okay, cool. You know, but every time that interview would rear its head around the corner, I had this feeling in the pit of my stomach, and I couldn't
you're right.
shake it. And I feel like, you know what, I should have just said, you know what, instead of wasting my time and your time, I'm just gonna pass on this,
You're right.
because I know I'm not going to be up. I'm not going to do my best. And it's going to be a poor representation of myself and a poor representation of the recruiter that reached out to me. So I'd rather just pass on it. And I think I would have saved myself the headache of trying to push through it. And so I think, like, in life, a personal, something that I recently had to learn is like, you know what, it's okay to say no to
Yeah,
something.
yeah. Oh yeah,
And like, no matter what the money is, oh man, this is my opportunity, this is my shot, blah 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 blah. It's better to just say, you know what, I think it's not. This isn't for me, and I'm gonna pass on it. And ever
yeah,
since then, if I see something that doesn't look funny, no, I'm gonna pass.
yeah.
I'm good.
Exactly. Yeah, if you don't know how to
Cause
say no, people gonna pull you around anywhere.
yeah, yeah,
Like like with me, like I pretty much know my skill set. Like if it's going to be one of those long data structures and algorithms type of interviews,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna waste my time because I don't spend like a lot of time studying that. I'm
Yeah.
more focused on like more
Practical.
immediately practical
Mhm.
stuff. Like if it's gonna be about, okay, how do I use Angular? How do I use React? How do I use this backend
Yeah.
framework or something? Okay, I'll
Yeah.
take that. But
Yeah.
you know, if you're gonna ask me
And
those like, go ahead.
no, no, go ahead.
Yeah, if you're gonna ask me these programming brain teasers, let's not waste our time. Or even when it comes to pay, I'll ask people like, or, what is the pay range on this? Like, I don't want us to waste each other's time if it's not within my pay range. I don't want to spend time interviewing for this.
Right. Yeah, no, I hear you. And even in let's not even just keep it about code, right? It's like in life, right?
Yeah,
Like like do you guys have this? Oh no? Okay, cool. Thanks for answering. Like
yeah,
don't beat me around the bush. Say you have something. I come out there, you said you had it. I've driven X miles to go and get it, and then it would show up at the store and you guys don't have it.
you're right.
Because then I've wasted time and effort, right? It's like
Yeah,
just be upfront with me about like the yay or nay, and then move on.
yeah,
But, and like you know, like not every I want to say like not every opportunity is for you, right? Because it's like one opportunity closes, the another one opens, and
yeah,
so personally, I've seen it where it's like, you know what? Let me not get down on myself because something went left here,
yeah,
right? Because you look back at like the 8 or 9 failures that I've had, or that the 8 or 9, or however many failures it takes to get to where whatever your end goal
mhm,
is, it was all a learning process.
yeah,
And I think that's the takeaway. It's like
yeah,
in anything, there's things that you could take away, there's lessons that you can learn, and if you're not learning the lessons, you're just going to repeat the
yeah.
same mistakes over and over again.
You're right.
And you know, like in life, you have to you have to learn from those lessons, or you're just doomed to repeat it.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
Oh yeah, like each interview you did, it gave you a new aspect of, okay, they might ask this on the next one, or maybe I didn't do this that I should have. Maybe I should have been more talkative.
Uh huh.
Like all of them takeaways, once you combine all of that knowledge and apply it,
Yeah.
your skill set, interviewing in and of itself is a skill set.
Yeah.
So
Interviewing, or the gym, or eating right, right? Like
yeah,
there's times when like I would just like I'd wake up and I'd just have a glass of water, take my vitamins or whatever, and like I don't know about you, but like taking vitamins on an empty stomach is like the worst idea like ever. And so like my stomach is just like turning upside down and just like twisting and turning. I'm like, oh, this is a terrible idea. But like I've learned that like, hey, let me have breakfast first.
yeah,
Let me do this. Let me do that. And yeah, like some people might be thinking like, well, that's obvious, but like for me, it wasn't. And so that's just one little thing that I had to learn. Like, okay,
yeah,
if I'm gonna do this, let me have breakfast first. Um, if I'm going to go to the gym, let me make sure I bring this, or make sure that I have water in my filter, or whatever. You just learn from those little things, those little experiences, and you know, you'll be amazed at where you'll be in a year. Because
yeah, yeah,
like I can't believe it's already December.
yeah. This year flew by, probably the fastest year on record.
Probably because I think of like school and like how like every day you should just feel like it would last forever, and some days will fly, some days would just be like super slow and drag on. But man, like it's December already. I remember it when it was March. I remember when it was July.
Right. Yeah, man. This is crazy, man. Time is flying. You got to do something with your time,
Yeah.
though. You don't want to look back 10 years later and, man, I missed out on so much.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think like like you said, you even though you didn't get the job when you took the interview, at least you took the shot. You know what I mean? Because if you didn't take any shots, you for sure would have never gotten the job. But now, even though you haven't gotten that job yet, each shot you take, one of them is gonna go through the hoop.
Yeah,
And each failure is kind of like helping you adjust a little bit. Like, oh, maybe I need to aim to the left a little more. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
failure is it's kind of like a step on the stairway of success. You have to go through the failures to get where you want. I've had to do the same thing. So, you know,
yeah. There's this book by Michael Jordan. I read it a long time ago. It's called "I Can't Accept Not Trying,"
yeah, yeah,
and it's a short book. It's really small. It's really short, but man, it was like that was a really good book, and like Still Like an Artist was a really good book,
yeah,
and there's another book that I was gonna read. I forget what it was called, but it was like it basically said like you got to make the attempt, right? You
yeah,
got to just put it out there and just make the attempt, and like
right,
you're gonna suck. It's gonna fail the first time and the second
yeah,
time and the third time, but like at the 50th time, at the 100th time, like every milestone that you make, you're gonna
yeah,
look back and you're gonna see that change.
right,
It's gonna be like, man, nothing's working. But then after like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, oh yeah, hey, I'm making progress.
yeah,
You just got to get through that hurdle of like that new what's the word I'm looking for? Like
new
the
new plateau or something.
it's like you got to get through the hurdles of like first starting,
Yeah,
make progress, and then like look back and like, yeah, I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
yeah,
Yeah.
man. Like think about it like this. Do you know any baby that's come out of the womb doing backflips and somersaults? You can't think of one.
No, I can't think of one.
Like, baby gonna crawl, get up, walk, fall down, get
Hmm.
back up, try to walk again, fall down, keep on doing it until the baby walks. But for some reason, as we grow up, I think it's primarily due to school. We think failure is a bad thing. Like,
Right.
in school, if you fail at something, you get marked down. You know
If
what
you
I
miss a
mean?
day, you get marked down.
Exactly.
Every mistake, it gets marked against you, and I think that's terrible. We're
Yeah.
teaching kids like anything less than perfection is bad. If you don't
Yeah.
get an A on this test, like there's something
Bad.
wrong with you. If you missed a day at school, why'd you miss a day at school? Where were you yesterday?
Right.
Like, oh, I was sick. Well, why didn't you come to school anyway? It's like I was sick. Well, what do you want me to do? Come to school sick?
Right. It was like, yeah, you got to deprogram your mind from that sort of mentality and realize, okay, there's nothing wrong with failing. It's just part of the process. Sometimes I might
Mm-hmm.
need to take a step back and rejuvenate, but I'm gonna get right back in the mix. Like, you don't know any basketball player that was great that every time that somebody passed them the ball, they passed it back. Oh, I'm not gonna take the shot. I'm
Mm-hmm.
scared. Like Michael Jordan missed a ton of shots, but we remember him for the ones he made. But he can't make a shot if he never took them.
Right.
So
Yeah. Exactly. Let me see if I can find that book. I'm sure I have it somewhere, but I don't know where it is. It's crazy how like you like way back when all
yeah,
these things were like readily available. They're not super expensive, but now it's
yeah. Everything's expensive now, real expensive.
right. Like I have a pair of like uh some slides, some Nike Jordan slides, and I'm
Mm,
seeing them on Amazon for like $100. Like, bruh,
right.
it's not that serious.
Man, like I collect a lot of colognes, man, and like when you go to dealers or something, you get the 3.3. It was usually like $70 or so.
Uh huh.
Everything's like $100 now, so it's like the price, everything's just shooting through the roof, and you can't stand still, man, or else you're going backwards. That's what's so crazy. It's like it's like a conveyor belt that we're all standing on that's pulling us backward. That we're
Hmm.
not walking forward. We're gonna keep on going backwards. So It's like you always gotta, improve yourself, man.
And it doesn't have to be like, I would say improvement doesn't have to be like so sudden. It could be like little things, right? Like just drinking water like
Right.
daily, or like if you're working from home, like iron your clothes,
Yeah.
or like brush your hair, or take a shower, right? Like self
Right.
care is a really good self care goes a long way.
Yeah.
Like it might you might not think it doesn't matter, but like I don't know how to explain it, but it's like your body reacts to how you treat it, and
Yeah.
if you look good, you feel good. So like you might
Yeah.
not go anywhere, but you took a shower and you combed your hair, and I don't know, it to me that makes a big difference instead of just like rolling out of bed
Yeah.
and just going to work.
It kind of puts you in that go getter mode. Like, I'm presentable. Like, if an opportunity does come up, like, hey, Terrence, we want to do an interview with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, your hair's all nappy, and like, I can't do that right now.
Right, exactly. Let's do it on Monday. Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, I agree with you, man. It's good to stay in that habit of acting like you're about to step out at any time. And,
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is a good time to stop on the podcast. This was a really good
yeah,
episode. Um,
yeah. We'll
I think,
catch y'all next time.
yeah. Later, people.
Peace.